Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel, August 22nd, 2017, the day after the big total eclipse of the sun, which occurred on August 21st, yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to tell you my personal opinion based on what I viewed yesterday and based on the 5,834 emails that have blown my Planet X News email address completely off the freaking wall. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you believe pertaining to this total eclipse of the sun. Me, yesterday, I was prepared. Had everything set up at a prime location. And the skies just literally went from crystal clear to very serious cloud cover. Mm-hmm. And we basically, really didn't see anything. The fact of the matter is, I personally think that there was nothing there. I think the entire situation with this total eclipse was completely staged by NASA. The internet and YouTube is abuzz with all of this. And it's just not me. It's just not people that are conspiracy theorists, as they're called. This pathway of totality, well, the majority of it was instantly obscured by cloud cover. It seems that the only people that actually got to see this event were the people from NASA. Once again. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can hear the frustration in my voice, but I am not in a very good mood after spending almost the entire day going through, I don't even know how many emails. I don't even know how many videos that I've watched today from people across the United States. I don't even know how many photographs I looked at today from this eclipse. I watched video after video after video after video today on YouTube. Not just the conspiracy videos, as people are calling them. These are just everyday run-of-the-mill people that instantaneously noticed that something just wasn't right. And I have to agree with them. I have to wholeheartedly agree with them. And then we have these people out there that, they just want to debunk everything and tell you that, you're a liar, you're a fake, you're this, you're that. But yet they can't prove anything. They can't prove anything in their stupid videos. Ladies and gentlemen, just because you don't see something doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't. And we're getting to the point where things revolving around NASA and their Hollywood studio videos, it's just becoming completely ridiculous. And then you'll have these people say, well, how could they fake an eclipse? Well, we're going to have to find out. But I could sure as hell tell you right now that what people saw or what they think they saw wasn't any type of natural eclipse with the moon. Myself and the doctor had a very good view of what was about to occur. We had the timing down. We were in an area where we would see, what, 82%? What was the percentage, doctor?
Yes, it was about 82% where we could, that we could see at where we were.
Now, at the time that this eclipse was supposed to roll through, we basically didn't see too much. The doctor was viewing it, and you want to tell everybody what you saw there, doctor?
Yes, well, I tried to look at it through my phone, but my phone wasn't picking it up because there was a cloud cover. So, but I did look at it with my own eyes through a filter, and I could see the crescent. And what was surprising for me was that I saw that crescent for about 30 minutes and it did not change. So that's impossible. The only way that could possibly occur was if somebody had put a fake crescent up in the sky. It couldn't be real. There's no way that the moon stops in front of the sun so you can see a crescent for 30 minutes. So I think what we saw was fake. I have mentioned before that they use sun simulators. I think what they do is they have a simulator for different sections. And so they were making sure that the sections where people were viewing that particular simulator were able to see, if they looked up, the crescent. But I think they overdid it a bit because I saw it for about 30 minutes, and that's impossible. So yeah, it's not difficult to fake. If they have simulators, and we know that they do, all they do is place, they cover part of the simulator that simulates the sun. And I believe they have holographic projectors, so they are able to fake sunspots. They are able to fake the surface of the sun on the darker surface of the moon that goes in front. They are able to do all that, Scott. So I don't think it's that difficult for them. But the thing is, they never get it quite right. And that's how we pick it up, because if we see a crescent for 30 minutes, it's just ridiculous. It's impossible. So, we would have seen a small crescent, say, for about 2.5 minutes, and that would have been it. 30 minutes, it's ridiculous.
Well, I would definitely have to say that the entire situation was completely ridiculous. And, ladies and gentlemen, I broadcasted, I live streamed the entire NASA TV feed for this eclipse. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a creature of my upbringing. I'm a very analytical individual. And I notice things that other people don't even think about. And after watching so many false flag situations that have occurred over the past several years, I'm getting pretty used to, identifying these types of situations. What I did notice were fake crowds, fake dubbed in voices of people cheering. Because here's the bottom line, folks, and I'm going to show you one of these instances here pretty soon. But whenever you take a look at the situation, if you are videotaping a crowd, how are you going to record these voices of these people? And they're so crystal clear. It literally sounded like a fake audience cheering and being dubbed in over fake video. And this was all produced by NASA. I watched every bit of it, and then I watched my own live feed again. And then I watched it again. And then I saw a situation. I believe it was I believe it was in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies and gentlemen, I've worked in the industry of, commercials, filming commercials. I mean, I'm not a camera professional, but I know what it looks like when a camera fades to black. And I saw one situation, and this was in Kansas, on the NASA footage of the crowd, basically, characters, crisis actors, standing there looking up with their fake solar eclipse glasses on. And then 1 minute, it looks like just a regular daytime setting. And then the cameraman starts to fade to black. Now, he doesn't fade all the way to black. He just simply turns the lighting down to make it look like it went dark. Not completely. You could still see the people. And then the timing was completely off. It stayed dark for minutes, way more than the eclipse would have taken. Mm-hmm. And then it turns the lighting back up. And you can clearly see the cameraman made mistakes in doing this. Now, I wasn't the only one who noticed this. We now have literally millions of people talking about this worldwide, not just here in the United States, everywhere. So, I get to the point where, when is enough going to be enough? When are we going to stop being dumbed down so bad? Maybe some of you believe in Planet X. Maybe you don't. Maybe you believe that there is something out there near our sun, interacting with our sun. Maybe you don't. That's your prerogative. That's your choice. I have clearly, over the past year, showed you more than enough evidence that exists. And I'm going to show you more of what I captured yesterday and today. And I'm going to show you once again what was near the sun in the lower left-hand corner at approximately the 7 o'clock position. You're going to see it again. So what are you going to tell me? You say, oh, well, Scott, that could be, another one of those prominences. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've yet to see any one of these debunkers show me a perfectly circular prominence. And I know what a prominence is. I thought they were absolutely, fascinating anomalies on the sun. I remember reading about prominences 5 years ago. I know exactly what they look like. I know exactly what they are, and I know exactly how they react. And a prominence from the sun is not, and I repeat myself, it is not perfectly circular like a sphere, a planetary object, a round object. And I'm going to show you photographs that I snapped today from HelioViewer that were captured on August 20th, many hours before this so-called solar eclipse. But once again, you have all these people that think you know, these debunkers that think we're crazy, but they know what's there. They know exactly what's there.
Yes.
They're just being paid. They are being paid. Don't fool yourself, folks, when I tell you these people are being paid to sit there on YouTube and try to discredit or degrade the information. But they really can't. They just make personal attacks. The fact of the matter is, it is my true belief that NASA faked this total solar eclipse. You know, I do not believe in this flat Earth theory. However, I did watch several flat Earth videos today, and they were debunking the total solar eclipse. And believe it or not, some of their information, and there was a few channels that have very credible information based on this eclipse and computerized models that they have put together that clearly show that this eclipse could not have happened the way that NASA says that it did. I mean, what has NASA actually become? Have they become a movie studio?
I think so, Scott.
I mean, literally, what are they filming, like space videos? I mean, come on, man.
Well, to tell you the truth, I actually think that they're so bad at faking things nowadays that their inability to even fake things properly is an insult to our intelligence.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree. You know, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and share some of this information with you real quick. Let me get over here and share my screen. Now I'm going to show you. Now this video here, I'm going to go ahead and just back this up real quick because it's real short. It's a real short video clip that was sent in to me, and it's gonna show you right here. I mean, I don't know how good this looks on your screen, folks. And remember, I told you, whenever you're viewing my videos, if you're using your YouTube on your computer, go to the lower right-hand corner, click on that little white gear, change your resolution settings to the highest settings available. That way you don't have a blurry picture. Hold on one second. Now, this video was captured by a gentleman who was, he was looking at the eclipse. He actually saw this object right here, and he videotaped it. But, instead of doing a screen capture, I think he used maybe a cell phone or something, or video camera, or whatever he used to videotape this off of his screen. I just found it very, very unusual that this anomaly at the 4 o'clock position shows up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling up the live chat, folks, so give me a second. So everybody, if you don't mind leaving some comments, in the chat for all of you that are in there. I mean, I want you to tell me what you thought about this total solar eclipse. Do you think it was real? Do you think it was faked? Do you think it was a complete hoax? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, the evidence is mounting that they faked this. Okay, I watched NASA video, and I watched that moon object fade in smoothly right in front of the sun. It went right in smoothly, in complete motion, and then it stopped right in front of the sun. And then it stayed there for a good while, and then it moved off. Now, how does an object in motion stop,
Yeah.
and then proceed to fade off? I mean,
No,
is that even possible, or what? Come on.
that's not possible, Scott. An object in motion has to decelerate to stop. It means that it's under intelligent control. It's not an astronomical body that's just in motion. That's just ridiculous. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So if you saw it stop, it definitely shows that what is happening is artificial. They used artificial devices to simulate the eclipse.
Well, they did something, because I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think of this video footage here? This is pretty wild.
Yeah, well, what it looks like, well, I would tell you exactly what that object underneath there is, and that would be one of the stellar remnants. It's the sort of structure we would expect out of them. It's got this hole. It looks like a cloud with a hole in it. Through the hole, you see the core of the object, which is dark in this case. And then it's actually the envelope, which is always thick ring shaped or toroidal in shape. That's exactly what we see here. So this would be one of these objects. They are, of course, everywhere. And as you know, Prep Aussie keeps pointing them out, and we found so many of them as well. And so it's to be expected. They are everywhere. And it seems to be behind whatever simulation device they are using here. You can see it seems to be behind it. So, yeah, this is what it is. It's a crescent simulation.
I mean, people would say, okay, well, how would they do this? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the $1 million question. I mean, I'm kind of at my wit's end today. I've been in a very aggravated, irritated mood, because, after reading these emails, and this is no lie, folks. I mean, I got almost 6,000 emails. 6,000. Not one of them. I mean, I didn't go through all of them, but not one of the emails that I read today said anything about, oh, wow, check out this beautiful video of the eclipse. Every single email that I got started off with, Scott, I think they faked the eclipse. Scott, I think they faked the eclipse. Scott, I think the hoax or the eclipse was a hoax. Scott, I think NASA lied. I mean, I started getting so irritated, not at the emails, but at the deceit.
Yeah.
And then here, we can clearly see, an object right there during the eclipse. I mean, I mean, did they fake that? I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough of the debunking crap. Okay, you could stick your debunking, whatever, man. Okay, nobody in this debunking group has ever come up with any credible evidence. Nothing.
Yes.
But yet the people that are, that are investigating Planet X, whatever you want to call it, whatever is out there, folks, it's there. It's there. I catch it. I find it almost every day. I produce the evidence. I put it up there on YouTube, and YouTube has basically beaten my channel into the ground. And they're going to continue to do that because we're exposing more and more and more of what is happening.
Yeah.
And now we have this video that's surfaced during this total eclipse. Oh my.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I mean, NASA cannot even fake things properly. If they were faking things properly, we were not finding these objects every single day. So basically, they are failing on all fronts to do even a proper job of deception. Perhaps it's a good thing because it's easier for us to find the evidence. But it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Their efforts are ridiculous. They might as well just come out and tell us the truth.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice. Yes. But I doubt that they ever will, because they've invested into hiding these objects for so many years, probably since the 1970s. They started planning to hide this. So the objects may have been here already then, and they possibly only found out then that they were here and that they were coming in. But it's obvious that they've come in very large numbers, and they probably are still continuing to come in towards the sun. So
they're definitely there.
yes, and also we have these orange skies at sunset where you can see these rejuvenated stellar remnants are now illuminating the atmosphere more and more, like we see right here. And this is not normal. This is not our sun. It's these objects illuminating our atmosphere.
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the photograph that you're looking at, the postcard photograph that you're looking at on your screen right now, I just took this photograph at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock. I'm sitting in my office, getting things prepared for this live stream. We had one hell of a storm that rolled through, that came out of nowhere. The sound of the thunder, it sounded like bombs going off. 45 minutes straight, just absolutely hellacious weather. Downpours of rain, lightning bolts all over the place, the crack of the thunder. And then it was gone. And then, as I was sitting in my office, I noticed that the whole entire room turned orange. I mean, it just turned orange.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, uh-oh, what's going on? Grabbed the camera, stepped outside, standing in the middle of the street. I mean, I almost got hit by a car because I was totally amazed at what I was seeing. I mean, the whole sky was orange, but so was everything around me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was standing. I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, it's an orange light source. These objects are not emitting white light like our sun used to. I don't even know if it still is because it's being hidden. But obviously, these objects are emitting these strange colors, Scott. This orange.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I mean,
and magenta. You can see there's some magenta colored clouds. It's actually quite beautiful, but definitely not what we are supposed to have on our planet. So we have extra light sources that are illuminating our atmosphere.
Yep, these are just a a few photographs because I just kept snapping pictures off.
Yes.
Till a car crept up behind me while I was standing in the middle of the street and blew his horn. He was probably wondering what the heck I was doing.
Well, you're doing a good job as usual, Scott.
Oh, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this might be hard for you to see. Like I said, if you're viewing this on your computer, kick up your YouTube resolution by clicking on the little white gear in the lower right-hand corner. Take the cursor, move it up to 740, 1080, whatever your monitor could handle. Get your resolution up there. Okay, so let's take a look at this photograph. Earlier today, I was going back through Helio Viewer. I was going back, just doing my homework, my day-to-day. And once again, something was just this number of 820 just kept popping into my mind. And I'm like, what's going on here? 820? What, should I play the lottery? So I just finally figured it out. August 20th. So, I go through everything for August 20th. And then I jump on the Helio Viewer, my last stop. Now, Helio Viewer, you have to actually put in the dates for your video, or you're going to have to go click by click, minute by minute, 5 minutes, 15-minute increments, hour, whatever. So then I decided, okay, let's do this. I know something's here. Oh, lo and behold, once again, yeah, I'm right.
Yes, you made another one of your discoveries. You just cannot help yourself.
I know, right? That's getting to be like, okay, how come nobody else is seeing this? What am I? I'm the messenger.
Yes. You have a gift.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it that, a gift, a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's kind of some of the both. But folks, I'm going to go ahead and blow that up a little bit, but I put that Earth in there, and that Earth is part of the Helio Viewer program, and it is to scale regardless of how much you zoom in. If you zoom out, it gets smaller. If you zoom in, it just stays to scale. And you could move it around, and you could put it anywhere you want your picture to give yourself Earth scale. So I happen to notice this object in the lower right-hand corner, or excuse me, lower left-hand corner, about the 7 o'clock position. And I was looking at a piece of video on the SDO, same time frame. And once again, I noticed a little bit of a blowback of the sun's corona in the time-lapsed footage, which is 48 hours. And folks, that type of blowback with the sun's corona, just think of it as, a bunch of feathers, and you blow into the feathers, and they blow back ever so gently and smoothly. See, now, when I start to see that type of movement in the sun's corona, either something is exploding out from the surface of the sun, or something is going through the outer parts of the corona, like a wind. So as soon as I noticed that, that's what provoked me to go to this lower left-hand corner at about the 7 o'clock position. And, immediately it was right there. And once again, it had a plasma direct connection with the sun. It is not, I repeat, It is not a prominence. It is not.
That's right. I agree, Scott. It's not a prominence. It's an
I'm gonna zoom
object in the
in.
sun's
Yeah.
corona.
I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. It should not pixelate because I captured these photographs at the highest definition that I could for our video, so you can see it for yourself. Now, I had to do a couple of overlays on this. And when you do the overlays on the Helio viewer, it allows you to overlay different angstroms, different ultraviolet light intensities from the different views. All I did was overlaid it and then just toned it down a little bit. But even without the overlay, which you're going to see, I have not touched the photographs that I have captured. I have not touched them. So there we go. I mean, let's just get to it, folks. I'm zooming in. That looks beautiful. I think I even see a freaking crater right there or some type of surface.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to start to pixelate as I move in there, but that's a pretty good view right there. I'll put it right in front of the video monitor. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on your computer, I want you to screenshot this photograph. I want you to share it. I don't care if you make videos of it. Put it on your Facebook. Take the photograph, analyze it yourself, put it through whatever scrutiny that you can. I think it's absolutely amazing, once again. And for all of the people that say, oh, there's nothing out there. I got a telescope. I got a telescope with a filter, and I can't see nothing. All right. Maybe you got to take the filter off, point your telescope directly at the sun, and put your eye in the eyepiece. Leave it there for a couple minutes. Maybe you'll see something then. I'm being sarcastic. So listen, folks, you people in the chat, let's get to it here, man. You know, we're not talking about pancakes and chicken wings here in the chat. I want your opinions. I want your opinions on what you're viewing. I want to know what you think. I mean, we're really not sitting here for any type of entertainment. We're actually sitting here and we're trying to discover what is happening. What are these objects? Do we actually believe, truly believe, that they are there? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been investigating this and researching this for a very long time. I'm not even surprised anymore at what I'm finding. My heart used to race. My heart used to beat out of my chest whenever I would make one of these discoveries. Now, it's no longer exciting. I mean, I'm truly getting upset, angry, mad. I'm just sick and tired of being deceived. I don't care. You could attack me all day long. You could attack my channel. You could attack my person. You could do whatever you want. That doesn't bother me. I actually make fun of you back, and you know, I usually get the upper hand. But what I'm getting angry with, folks, is that we're not being able enough to show all of this to more people. I keep telling all of you, please take screenshots of this. Share the videos. We all have to try to do a little bit more than just sit here and listen to me. I mean, do all of you hear me? I mean, I know you hear me, but I mean, is this sinking in at all? I mean, is that just an anomaly in the photograph? Perfectly spherical. Not even disshaped at all. And this is just one. This is just one of the pictures that I took in some sequences. Let me get a sip of my Red Bull. I got to get that commercial plug in there real quick. Let's take a look at the next photograph.
Mm-hmm.
This one was actually done with, again, a little bit of an overlay with the helio viewer, because that's why it's there. It's not there to deceive people. It's there to utilize as a tool. So once again, this was approximately, I think, 15 minutes later. So 15 minutes later, this object was still there. And, you know, doctor, right here, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I'm seeing, you know, I'm seeing a connection. I don't know if those were small filaments.
Yeah.
Definitely a connection of some kind with this object.
Yeah, definitely. As you know, they connect magnetically to the sun. So this is what we expect to see, is this plasma connection. So there's a particle flux transfer between these objects and the sun. And so these are the particles that I keep talking about, and I often put a diagram in my articles that explains this, how they draw the sun's magnetic field outwards towards themselves, and then the magnetic field closes inside the object, and particles from the sun spiral along the magnetic field lines towards this object, and in the returning field lines you have particles from the object returning to the sun. So there's this exchange of particles between these objects and the sun, and this is exactly what we expect. We actually see two connections there. It's amazing.
Yeah, you know, it is truly amazing. And you know, now I'm really starting to laugh at the people that, you know, claim you're a fear monger, or I don't know, they start using that word criminal. I don't get where the criminal comes in. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, we're simply trying to show you what we found. You know, if you ever watch any type of investigative reporting show, whatever it is, I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, here, I'm gonna pop this photograph up a little bit, and I want you guys to you know, take a screenshot of this, put it through your own diagnostics, whatever you do, man. And if you find that I made a big mistake here, then drop me an email. The email address is in the description box. Say, hey, listen, Scott, get some sleep tonight, because I found out what this is. Now you could sleep. You know, rest assured, this is what it is. But see, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see people doing that. What I see is people making just absolutely ridiculous, slanderous videos just to, get under the skin of the creator of the video, the investigator, the researcher, me, whoever. But see, that doesn't work with me because it pushes me further and further and harder to prove to everybody that what you're looking at, it's not a fake. It's not an anomaly. I truly believe that our inner solar system, our sun especially, are just absolutely being invaded by something.
Mm-hmm.
Call it what you want. But sooner or later, the situations that are brewing out there may intensify so quickly, so drastically, that it's going to be the biggest nightmare that you ever walk through. So the fact of the matter is, and my point is, making more and more people aware of what's actually occurring and what could possibly occur. And now over the last 2 weeks, I can clearly see now that the shutdown of information has begun. And again, I've already been told over a year ago, I've already been given the steps to watch for, and even a little bit of a time frame when one instance occurs. I'm not even going to talk about them right now because I want to stay centered on, once again, what was discovered today. And the fact that there's a very high possibility that, I'm going to use this word, there's a big possibility that NASA influenced this event yesterday in many, many fashions. Kind of like both physical, meaning what you saw, what you thought you saw, and also psychologically. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching an event on a television or video screen, whatever, and you see people standing there holding, little banners and stuff like that and cheering and, woohoo, yeah, woo. If you come from my background, you definitely are able to distinguish what is natural and what is fake. So if I take 10 of you and I line you up in a small crowd formation and I give you some posters and banners, and I tell you on the count of 3, I want you to hoot and holler. Okay, see, what you're doing is you're doing what I directed you to do. You're not doing it naturally because I told you to do this. So therefore, it's not a natural reaction to something that you're experiencing or seeing. Do you understand what I mean? So the people that I saw in some of these staged frames during the NASA footage, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that these people were staged there. And then they used a college. I forget what was that, South Carolina, that they were at the one of the colleges, out somewhere there, and they had all these college students.
Yes,
They look completely dumbfounded.
They did. Some of them didn't even know what to answer when they were asked questions.
Yeah, I mean, they just look like some bunch of, college kids. Hey, here's a couple banners. Stand here, and whenever we give you the cue that we're live on the camera on television, hoot and holler like everybody does. Woo!
Yeah.
They look completely fake.
Mm-hmm.
completely.
Yeah.
And then, hold on one second. Oh boy. Um, then I'm listening to some of the NASA commentary. They got this. They got this one guy. You know, he's sitting like you're at the Sports Center on ESPN. Something else I noticed that the sound quality of NASA's broadcast was like something from the 1970s. The quality of the sound.
Wow.
I mean, you people are getting better sound quality from my equipment and your equipment right now than what you saw yesterday being televised by NASA TV. Hi, this is NASA TV.
Oh my.
Okay, then they're like, okay, we're going to be live in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And their sound quality just sounded terrible. And then I'm looking and watching some of the interviews with this one guy from NASA who's in charge of the like Helio project. And he's, you know, being interviewed, and then they get right into the Eclipse, and you could hear the fake audience in the background. They turned the lighting down on the camera that was recording this, and they fade it to black. And when they fade it to black, they immediately panned over to the G3, which was the airplane videotaping the so-called eclipse. And you could hear the crowd cheering in the background, which was all dubbed in fake audio.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy yells out, "Look, there's Venus. You could see Venus." And I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, WTF? What does he see?
Mm-hmm.
What is he looking at, man? The screen black.
Wow.
I mean, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
So psychologically, you're thinking that this helio scientist from NASA is really looking at Venus during this eclipse. But yet everybody in the crowd, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, okay, remember, I'm about as analytical as it gets. Don't you think that one person in the crowd, that you hear the crowd voices dubbed in the background, you don't see them at this point, and you don't hear one single person say, "Wow, look at that"? Not one. All you hear are this cheering. And there was one woman's voice in the dubbing audio that went from one state to another. She went from Oregon to Kansas.
Oh my goodness.
In minutes. And I also noticed that they used the same cheering audio all day. So what do you think about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, because there's no way that sound audio, and I'm going to go ahead back and capture it, and I'm going to freaking prove it.
That is very observant of you, Scott, I must say.
Yep, she had the same tone, and then I recognized the whole entire soundbite of audio was dubbed in.
My goodness.
Yeah, so they probably said, okay, listen, hey, listen, get me, about a 30-second clip of people cheering.
Sure.
You know, okay, we're going to play that, make sure that audio plays in the whole way down the path of totality in all of our reporting zones. Make sure you hear the crowd cheering.
My goodness.
And then, you know, the NASA reporters on the scene, there it is, there it is, there's the diamond. And then the doctor was witness to this. In the beginning, I think this was in Oregon, they have this NASA employee doing some commentary as the eclipse starts. And she sounded like she had a Puerto Rican accent. And she was at the very beginning. And remember, doctor, what she said? We create these eclipses at NASA.
That's right. Yes.
What did she say? Well, you repeat it, doctor. What did she say?
She said we can simulate these eclipses at any time. That's actually the words I think she said. And I thought, oh my goodness, are you saying this is what it is, a simulation?
Well, I mean, you know, me and the doctor were listening to this at the same time.
Yes.
And we looked at each other and I said, did I just hear her correctly?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when have you ever heard of NASA creating and simulating eclipses?
Well, they do it all the time. They create those movies about them, remember?
Oh, well, maybe that's what she meant.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then they're so used to making movies out of everything and simulating everything that's exactly what they do all the time. Even when they're trying to look at something you're supposed to be able to see from the Earth's surface.
Well, you want to hear it. You want to hear another point that I caught. If you watch the NASA footage, you'll see them doing an interview in one of the so-called planes that was heading directly towards the sun, lined up perfectly so they can record the eclipse in this high definition, specially equipped plane with a big round ball camera on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to be in like a small Lear jet type thing, you know, passengers in there, nice leather seats, government plane, but all bought by the taxpayers. And they're being these two NASA young scientists were being interviewed, and they're trying to explain things, and they're passing a microphone back and forth between the two. And the one guy sitting by the porthole window, I'm watching him because he has a little model of the sun in his hand. And the camera pans down to the little model. And then out of nowhere, sunlight. Did you hear what I said?
Sunlight.
Sunlight comes through the window and shines on his arm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how is that possible when you are above the cloud level, flying directly towards the sun? How is the sun going to come through the right side porthole window and shine on your arm? And the cameraman noticed it immediately, and he panned up to the guy's face.
Wow.
So how could you be recording a total eclipse of the sun and then the sunlight come through the porthole window of the plane? I mean, does that make any sense to anybody? Or am I just, you know, overthinking it?
No.
Because I told you, I'm very observant.
Yes, you are. And that's very good. I think your analysis is correct, Scott. I think that's impossible. They're
Yeah.
flying towards the sun, so there's no way the sun can come in through a side window.
Yeah, man. How could the rays of the sun shine through the window of the plane?
Exactly.
Oh, what? Okay, okay. The plane was banking. Yeah, okay. No, everything was perfectly, they were perfectly level. And we were right in the middle of the eclipse. They were videotaping it. It was occurring.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, where was somebody out there on the wing shining this big spotlight through the window of this Learjet plane?
Sure. That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if you go through YouTube and take a look at a lot of the videos that people are putting up there, I mean, if you listen to their commentary, these are just people in their backyards, and they're in the path of totality.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have swear words in it because, I mean, the people were being very candid. Some of them were like, "Hey, man, that's effing fake." I mean, this is just. And then, one guy's videotaping it, and the moon object stays in front of the sun for minutes and doesn't even move.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible?
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, what do we got? Some new type of eclipse going on here, or what?
I think they're just extremely bad at faking it, and they seem to be getting worse. It's unbelievable.
I would have to say so.
But it's definitely fake, Scott. There's no way that it can suddenly stop, that a natural object in motion suddenly stops. That's just not possible.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And then, getting back to the fake audio dubbed in and the fake lighting. And then I'm listening to Pastor Paul Begley live, man. He's out there. I love Pastor Paul. He's cool. Everybody starts to notice that the shadow, when it started to get a little dim outside, people were noticing that, wait a minute, these shadows are on the wrong side. They're in the wrong place. Now, Pastor Paul and his crew and the people standing out there, they weren't the only ones to notice that. After I was viewing multiple videos to see if, I can get a lot of this to correlate, and sure enough, I found other videos. And folks, I don't want to be playing these all on this live stream because people are stupid with their copyright crap. So I don't even want to get involved in that. But yeah, I mean, you can clearly see people noticed the difference in their shadows. One guy had things set up pretty good in his backyard, and he timed for 4 minutes that whatever the object was that was passing in front of the sun stayed there for I think it was 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Doctor, mathematically,
Yes.
is that even possible?
No, I mean, it's not possible. Either they speeded up the motion of the object that came in front of the sun, or they slowed it down, or they make it too slow, or they made it too fast. It has to be a continuous smooth motion. As the moon comes in towards the sun, it cannot speed up and it cannot slow down. It has to be a continuous motion. It's an object in motion that causes a shadow to move, and the shadow's not supposed to change speeds. So it definitely shows you that there's something very wrong with that. And like I said, I saw the crescent staying about the same size for about 30 minutes. And that's impossible. It's just impossible.
Yeah, I mean that right there. I mean, well, look, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking to an eyewitness. I mean, the doctor she's not going to just sit here and make things up just to corroborate our story.
Mm.
But there were many, many other people that were out on the deck, clear view.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just working with one of these pictures here because, like I said, folks, I haven't even touched any of these pictures. But what I'm trying to show you is that there's clearly a defined object right there.
Yeah, in fact, I think there are more than one.
Yeah,
but
I
the
believe there may
clearest
be.
one is the one that you highlighted, and you can see the plasma connection there. But these objects are now, there are so many in the sun's corona that sometimes it looks like they are stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to move to another one of these photographs here. Yeah, because this one here, and this might be a little hard for you guys to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the plasma connection right there. Now, folks, this is where people will tell you that this is a prominence, a coronal cavity prominence. It is not. I'm sorry, it's just not.
No, it's not.
I've done plenty of comparisons showing this. I've done videos on it. I'm not going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get this in here so you guys can see the perfect. It's imprinted. Nothing's been done to this photograph. We're gonna do it together right here, so there's no question about it. Oh, he doctored the photograph. Yeah, I'm doctoring it live right in front of you. Yeah, so we'll see if we could get a little more clarity with maybe some of these filters. Let's try black and white. We may have to bring out a little bit of the actual light. We go back to the regular photograph. Yeah, see, I could actually see it real good on my screen. I don't know how good that it's actually coming through on everyone's screen.
Mm-hmm. I see it quite clearly, Scott.
Yeah,
but
and then you could see the plasma connection right there, directly to the sun.
That's
directly.
right.
Yeah, folks, I got into a conversation yesterday, and me and the doctor were talking about, science and academics.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the word that I could use? How corrupt the some of the science, the academic science community is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about money. They want to maintain that funding.
That's right.
So they can continue, to make 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year salaries, and they'll just say whatever you want them to say.
Yes, it's about the funding you get for research, and the universities are after the funding as well, and the researchers are after the research funds as well. So, I mean, about 30 years ago or 50 years ago, most physicists would maybe publish 1, 2, maybe 3 papers in their research lifetime. Nowadays, you have to publish. You are told by your head of school that you need to publish a minimum of 1 per year, but they want you to publish much more. Maybe 10 papers per year is good. If you publish 10 papers, then they will promote you faster and things like that. But it's all about publish or perish. So it doesn't matter what you publish, really, as long as it passes peer review. And the peer review system is looking for certain materials, so you'll only write about certain things. And so this is the way physics is done nowadays, and I think it works the same way in a lot of other fields. So it's not about advancing knowledge. It used to be that physicists, if they really had something to say, then they would publish. If they really found something that was advancing knowledge, they would publish. But if not, they wouldn't. But nowadays, they publish for the sake of publishing, because that's how the system has become. It's all about money, as you say.
I mean, it's really getting down to it. It's kind of sickening, but that's just the way that it is. I'm actually gonna save a copy of this now, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the other photographs that I took from the Helio viewer. And this is many, many hours in difference from the photograph that I just showed you. And in here, this is on the same day of August 20th. Here it seems like even a larger object, bigger than the one that you just saw, is creeping by and through the corona. And I hope you can clearly see this as well as I do. I mean, it almost looks like there are two objects there, and we'll point them out. You could have one object right here with a direct connection.
Yes.
And then you have this object right back here. Perfectly round, man. I could put a freaking compass on that baby and spin me a circle.
That's right, Scott. I agree with you. I also see more than one object, a smaller one in front and a larger one behind. And several plasma connections there. You can see several darker lines. In fact, I see 3 plasma connections there.
Yeah, me too. I see 3. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, real quick. I want some opinions. Out of that chat real quick. So, are you guys able to actually see what I'm seeing, or can you not? I mean, I'm just going to hold on for a second here. People tell me yes, no, maybe so, you're crazy, you're an idiot, whatever. I mean, what do you people think? Okay, yeah, everybody can see it. Yeah, I mean, now I'm actually going backwards in these photographs. If you look at the positioning, this object is moving forward. So this would actually be the first picture. I'm actually going backwards in time. We're going backwards, but you can see the object is, oh, I don't want to delete it. Oh, no, cancel, delete, cancel. But you could obviously see the object is going forward. And as it got forward, it's going to get a little bit bigger. So it was moving outward towards the camera. But let's take this photograph and let's work on this real quick and see if we could bring up some detail on this right off the bat. I like doing this with you guys right here. So, I mean, you could literally see what I'm doing. It's not, all we're trying to do is we're trying to just, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. I can see it now. Oh, my. Yeah, you could see if you bring in the exposure, almost like increasing the sunlight, you can see the sun shining on it.
Yes.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
It is.
Yeah, that's not going to help too much there. Now, this would be it being completely obscured. This is how NASA would do it to you right there, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bob, listen, those photographs over there are, they're showing Planet X. So go over there and mess with the coloring real quick and get those loaded up. People on the internet need to see that. But make sure you hide that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what old Joe or Bob does right over there. He takes it. Okay, it's gone. Nobody can see it. Well, then here comes Scott. Scott goes, oh, what do you have here?
Because they've done such a bad job.
Yeah, I don't know what university or what tech school they're getting those bozos from, but they ain't doing a real good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that bad boy right there. And again, folks, I put the scale of Earth in there so we can get, a relative size of what we're looking at here. And that object came out of nowhere. That object is much, much larger than the other object we were looking at. I would have to say 3 times the size, going across from end to end on this circle or from side to side. Definitely looks bigger. Let's save a copy of that also.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, this is going backwards. So this would have been the picture right before. Now you could faintly see, you could barely see it in the background because, again, we're going backwards in time in these photographs. I didn't have time to arrange them in time sequence. So this is the picture before. But here, oh boy, yeah, you can see this object and you can see the plasma connection directly to the sun. Directly. I mean, you can't get it any clearer than that. Well, maybe we can. Oh, look at that. All I did was just increase the clarity. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at that. When you do that, I actually start to see even more, perhaps 3 objects there, one behind the other. Wow, that's amazing.
There's a good shot of the plasma connections right in there. Oh yeah,
That's right. Very good.
Yeah, there's a good bit going on in this photograph. No doubt about it. Hey folks, I'll be honest with you. Some people may not believe in any of this. Hey, look, everybody has their prerogative. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But I don't see you out there telling me, well, hey, this is what actually happened. Oh, and I could prove it.
Yeah, if you compare the size of the plasma connections with the Earth, I would say that the shorter one is at least 3 times the size of Earth.
Yeah, that one could wrap right around Earth and choke it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the objects are definitely larger than Earth. The smaller one would be about twice the size of Earth, and the larger one may be 5 times larger than Earth, and that's half the size of Jupiter.
Yeah, that's a pretty big object. I would have to say, whatever it is. Now, this was kind of before, and now I could still see.
Yes.
This was I forget how many hours before. I think this was about 4 or 5 hours further in the beginning. Now, this one here I had to look at twice. And then when I did look at it, I'm like, oh, whoa. What is that? What is that right there? And this is when it was first This is when the first larger object was coming through. And again, you know, we'll go ahead and adjust all of this right in front of everybody. And once again, folks, again, you can see that, I mean, this is not, it's not an oddly shaped sphere. Something in nature, it's just not going to create a perfect sphere. I mean, we're talking geometrically perfect. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've only adjusted the clarity to see this object coming, passing right through the corona. Again, we've already seen this. We've already shown this to you. Oh, when was that, Doctor, that that object passed through the corona on this side, almost at the same position?
Yes.
About a month ago?
Yes, it was in July still, wasn't it? July, about middle of July to the 20th, something like that.
I believe so, yeah. Let's just, I'm going to move back up here. Let's.
Because on 23rd July, remember there was that huge CME?
Yes.
And then we saw that extremely large one that was larger than the sun. So the smaller one we saw before that.
You know, see, this is going to be hard to bring this out. It's probably hard for you guys to see it because it's kind of more obscured in this photo because this is the beginning. This is the beginning before it started making its way through the corona. So like I said, we kind of went backwards here, but we'll save a copy of that anyways. And here it just becomes even more defined.
Yes, it does.
I mean, you could see the darker line around it.
It's amazing.
Now, this one really got me because this is the larger object. And again, we're going back in time. So this is how it's starting. You could see it. I mean, I haven't touched this photograph. It clearly has a connection to the sun right there. Now, let's make it more clear. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know what to say, man. That's just there.
It is definitely there. You can see it almost, it has a three-dimensional structure to it, especially when you look at that plasma connection. It's really quite vivid there. You know how it sort of snakes its way to the object.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could see it.
It's quite beautiful to see that.
Yep.
You can actually see the form of the envelope around the core there, the ring shape of it.
So, and, Doctor, I mean, do you think that this would be, how can I word this?
Well, this is one of the stellar remnants, of course, that that's what we have in the sun, that they have come into the solar system in huge numbers. I think they're still coming in. They're coming right towards the sun. They have changed things in our solar system. Our sun is getting darker and weaker, and they are getting brighter and stronger. And that's why our atmosphere is being illuminated by these other light sources. And this is what they do. They go into the sun's corona and rejuvenate there. And this is what we are seeing one of them do. And this is not the first time. I think we saw one in 2012 for the first time connecting to the sun in this way. And we keep catching them doing this nowadays. It's becoming more and more a regular occurrence to actually see these objects connecting to the sun, which shows you that there are more and more of them doing this.
Well, the question, what I was trying to get to, and now I've got the wording for it.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody were to say, and I'm talking a very credible, top-notch helioscientist, and he says what you're looking at is impossible. But then my question is, how does he know that this is impossible if he's not seen anything like this before, if he's not witnessed anything like this before? Doctor, the question that I had,
Mm-hmm.
as to your knowledge, has anyone ever witnessed a brown dwarf star or any type of stellar remnant having or creating a plasma connection with a star like ours? Have you ever seen any documented evidence of that?
Well, the only thing there is about white dwarfs, and white dwarfs have been well studied. They are known to form plasma connections with main sequence stars. But the reason for the plasma connections is not well understood. Well, it is talked about as if it is well understood, and it's all about gravity. As you know, the whole of astrophysics is mainly about gravity, which I no longer believe because I've been observing these objects. And the connection seems to be magnetic, not gravitational.
Exactly.
But what happens is in physics nowadays is people are indoctrinated, students are indoctrinated with the theory. And then when they see an observation that does not go along with the theory, they throw out the observation and say, that's impossible, therefore I didn't see it. And this is the way physics has been turned upside down completely, and it's going nowhere. And because of this, because observation is supposed to lead the theory. You're supposed to observe something, and if it doesn't agree with your theory, then you have to go and change the theory. Because we are trying to understand the universe. If the universe shows us something is happening, then we have to try and understand why the universe works this way. And so we have to go and change the theory. And this is the battle that you have to go through when you talk to a trained astrophysicist who believes in the theory and does not care whatever evidence or observational evidence there is that is contrary to the theory.
Okay, one of our subscribers and people in the chat, they're
Yes.
actually stating that they just did what I wanted, took the photograph, worked on it. It clearly shows that there's another object behind it. He's going to send it to me in the Facebook messaging. Yeah, just Anu, just inbox it to the Planet X News. I'll grab it in a few minutes, and we'll put it up here and we'll take a look at it. But what I was trying to get at is, based in science, and getting back to what I'm talking about, the brainiac helioscientist that says this can't happen. But how does he know if he's, I mean, we're witnessing it. It's not a prominence. So what my point is right now, I don't think science has proof
That's
I'm
right.
not talking about some abstract that some, professor wrote. I'm talking about, come on, let's be realistic here. Science doesn't know everything. And even if they did, well, they definitely know more than we do, but they're not sharing it with us.
Yeah.
So therefore, we have to make our own observations, and we have to put our thinking cap on and say, okay, come on. These guys haven't seen this before. They're just stating that, okay, based on their training and their brainwashing, and based on what, a mathematical equation that stretches across the board. Okay, well, who can check that? Another mathematician will check it and find a mistake. And
Yeah.
another one will check it and find a mistake.
Yeah, you see, the other problem is that we live on a small planet orbiting a star, or at least we used to be orbiting a single star. It doesn't look like we are anymore because there are other stars in the center of the solar system now. But all we knew about was our small solar system. We live in a vast universe, and we assumed that whatever we could find in our solar system, that it applied to the whole universe. Now, where did we get the idea that whatever laws apply in our solar system must apply to the whole universe? Nothing can tell us that we can generalize in that way. And because we did, when these objects started coming in, we did not really were able to understand what was going on because of what had been done. Now, I think the powers that be understood this a long time ago, and they started seeing, these objects are going to change our whole understanding of the universe. And we don't want people to find out, because the status quo would change. They would realize that gravity is not the main interaction. They'll realize that the magnetic field is. It will lead to an understanding of the universe, and it will lead to places where we don't want the population to go, because we don't want them to be free thinkers. We want them to stay in a little cage. So I think that's where it all came from. They want to hold on to their control of the understanding that we have. And this changes everything. Like I keep saying, I mean, it changed my viewpoint. I was trained like any other physicist. Everything was built around gravity. Even Einstein's general theory of relativity, there are huge problems with it, and I don't think it actually explains what gravity is. In fact, I've come to the realization that gravity is just a model you can use to do a few calculations. It doesn't explain anything about the true interactions in the universe. And these objects are showing us about what the universe is really like. And it's fascinating in a way to study them.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty interesting. Um, I mean, it would be, yeah, it'd be okay to study these objects, but my concern is what are they doing to the sun? We're experiencing all of this, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a happy ending. So,
Yeah.
the research turns into, you know, a desperate search. See, again, we're going backwards in these photographs, folks, and I apologize. So this was in the beginning stages. So we're actually seeing this object moving forward through the corona, and this is what was being developed here. And this object here, it clearly has a connection. This photograph here is not as clear because, again, this was coming up into the beginning of what we were looking at earlier. I'm going to move backwards a few here. Oh, this was a photograph that this is all that I got yesterday from the eclipse.
Yeah, now what we expect to happen in the solar system is once the number of objects that are going to arrive have arrived, the system will move towards equilibrium. That is, you will get to the point where the sun has lost as much energy as the objects have gained, and then they all have the same brightness and the same energy. So what we are going to have and already have is a lot of light sources in the center of the solar system. None of them would be as bright as the sun used to be, but there would be more of them. And in the meantime, our sun becomes dangerous because as it loses energy, it seems to lose its ability to hold on to its plasma as it used to. So CMEs and solar flares become more dangerous because they are stronger. So we are going through a phase where the sun is becoming unstable, and that's definitely a danger for our planet.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. This is one
Mhm.
of the photographs that I captured yesterday. I mean, it really doesn't tell us much.
Yes.
I mean, it really doesn't. You could see the cloud cover. This is a very, very zoomed in photograph. This was
Yes,
another one.
this is what I saw, Scott. Exactly this, but it stayed like this for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
See, ladies and gentlemen, what the doctor's telling you is true. I mean, we were part of a bunch of stunned onlookers that were basically all saying to each other, "What's going on?"
mhm.
I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, and it started way too early. Um, it started just around 2:30 uh, for where we were. It should have started a little bit later than that,
Yeah.
say 2:45, I think, and it started way too early at 2:30, and it lasted until 3 o'clock.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, what the doctor's telling you and what we experienced yesterday, we're not the only ones. There
Mm.
are people along the path of totality that were making statements at the timing. The timing was publicized up and down the whole entire path of totality across the entire United States. News agencies, your local news said, okay, you can step outside and you can view this at this precise time. One guy videotaped it, I think almost an hour ahead of time. And again, he stated, whoa, 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 wait, what? Why is it just staying there? Why
Mm.
is the sun or why is the moon just staying there? Wait a minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What? I mean, what were these people seeing?
Yeah, I think they did that in order for everybody in the whole sector, because there's one simulator for a whole sector. For everybody in that sector, we probably should have started seeing the eclipse about 2:30 to 3 o'clock, so that everybody, if they looked up, they saw this crescent. I think that's why it lasted too long. We possibly somewhere in the middle of the sector, and so we saw it between 2:30 and 3. I think that's what it is. Basically, it tells you they used a simulator to fake this.
I mean, it doesn't even look like I mean, yeah, I mean, it was cloudy. I'm sure that's why they, got the old cloud cover
Mm,
situation going on 2/3 of the path of totality there.
yeah,
But I mean, this doesn't even look correct.
yeah,
I mean, it
no,
looks this should be, I mean, we know the moon's not perfectly spherical, but from this distance, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this looks oblong over here. It
yeah, you're
almost looks
right.
like this edge straightens out. And
Hmm.
I understand the angles and the perspectives and things of that nature, but from where we're at on Earth, and this should not look like it is almost
Yeah.
straightening out right here.
Now, I think we can expect the moon to be spherical. It's outlined to be spherical. It doesn't have much of an atmosphere at all. And there definitely it doesn't look like it has a spherical curvature. So you're absolutely right, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, these were the very few pictures that I was able to capture. I was very, very disappointed in what was going on, and this is just I was just trying to capture a little bit more detail in here by making the photograph more clear, but all it did was pixelate kind of mysteriously just around this. I don't even want to call it the sun, whatever it was. And this is the same picture, just in black and white, to see if I could bring out some more detail in it. But no, nope, not at all.
Yeah.
Oops, I lost my picture file. Where were we at? Oh, we were right here. Oh, you know what? There was another video piece that I had that I wanted to show you guys. Check this out. There's the fake.
Oh my.
Okay. You know what, folks? I'm not sure if you can hear this through the Google Hangout application. So let me know if you guys can hear the fake cheering and the fake audio in the background. I'll just let it continue to play. Now listen, folks, real quick. Does that dubbed in cheering and audio, does that sound fake as hell or what? I mean, you're looking at the NASA footage from one of the locations, and that is the same audio cheering that you heard during every NASA setup in all the different states. When when the sun eclipsed or the moon eclipsed the sun, you heard that audio bite at you heard it at every location. How is that possible? Identical.
Oh my goodness. And you know, Scott, look at that sun. It's hexagonal. That's not the real sun.
Well, that's the one. Isn't that the one that we see on the International Space Station?
Yes, it's the same sort of thing. It's obviously not the real sun. It's unbelievable.
You know, I would love to be a fly on the wall, you know, privy to all of this information. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at this, and I'm gonna turn the audio down. Well, because I want to, you're not going to be able to hear me real good over it. But let's just watch this. I mean, here's when at the other locations, this is when do you see how this is fading?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a fade to black from a from a camera fading to black, and they're keeping that object centered right there. But I mean, this is the beginning of it. And I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have a 6 light spokes, almost like a spoked tire. You see those 6 rays of light. Doctor, I mean,
That's
how
why I
would
say
that
it's
be possible?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the hexagonal sun, because this is not the real sun. It's a simulation. It's just ridiculous, because the light is not supposed to fade until it actually covers the sun completely.
So, I mean, let me once again ask all of you guys in the live chat there. I mean, I'm sure you've seen many different versions of the eclipse. Some of you may have seen it with your own eyes and documented it and the whole 9 yards. But I mean, this was the NASA footage. This is what they broadcast. And what do you think? I mean, I value your opinions. Do you think that this looks like a natural occurrence, or do you think that this is some type of simulation, man? Because to me, it looks like some type of simulation. I mean, I'm telling you, that doesn't look real at all.
Yeah.
I mean, why would the sun have 6 spokes of light?
Exactly.
And already, it's got that hexagonal shape to it.
Yeah.
Richie from Boston did a good video on this. Somebody sent him some footage of this, and it was a little shaky. The person that was taking the video was a little shaky, but you can clearly see that there was another image to the right-hand side that was clearly showing another eclipse-looking image in the video footage. And the guy was moving the camera all over the place. It was bad. It was horrible. But that image, that duplicate image, whether it was a ghosting image or what, it stayed right there and it didn't change. And what I mean is, you weren't witnessing the eclipse moving. You were just seeing two objects. One was a light source, the other was a dark source, and they were just, one was partially over the other, and it just stayed that way. It didn't move.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
So my question is, how is that possible? Well, we know that's possible because everything is in motion. The moon is not just going to stop in front of the sun so everybody can get out their cameras and take a few pictures, photo op, and then proceed to complete the eclipse. Do you all understand what I'm trying to say here? They gave everybody a photo opportunity.
It's an insult to our intelligence, Scott. It really is. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what they were referring to. Look, there's the diamond. There's the diamond. You could hear the NASA, commentary. Look, it's the diamond. You know what, folks? I am really starting to think that's their code word for that object. It's the diamond.
Yes.
The NASA diamond. The diamond in the rough. It wasn't good enough to fake putting a man on the moon, but now they have fake sunlight. And then they admitted in the beginning of the broadcast that they fake eclipses all the time. But what did they mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that real quick. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I think we might be talking about this for a little bit of time to come. I'm pretty amazed at the amount of video and speculation that is surrounding this event. And I'll be honest with you, I searched and searched and searched. And the majority of what I found was people around the world, calling this a hoax, a complete hoax, a complete fake. You know, and I'll be honest also, a lot of the videos that I watched, the criticism on what people were seeing, I listened to the words that they said, and to me, it sounded credible. It sounded straight from the heart. Then I watched several critiquing videos of some people that did a damn good job proving that what they saw could not be real. I guess the mystery is going to stick around for a while. I think the only way that we'd actually be able to prove this is if that sun simulator fell to the ground and crashed into the earth. I don't know. I'll be quite honest, folks. I don't believe it. You know, I don't believe in what was seen. Now, this is video. This was taken by NASA. There's the sunspot that's coming around right now. But I think that sunspot might be a little low, might be just our perspective. But this is what NASA showed from the state of Illinois. And this is over 12 minutes long. Let me see if I could. I'm going to move the cursor myself. Do you see how things are moving around? Now, this is, yeah. What are they talking about? This is all their commercials. Yeah, this is the woman. This is the woman there. There's the diamond. There's the diamond. Yeah, I didn't believe a word she said. All she wanted to talk about was crashing a satellite into the sun. Now, here we go. Watch this. Let me move it forward. I want you to watch the lighting. How could it be that dark? Do you see how black it is in the background?
Yes.
Look at her. She looks like a little chipmunk that just got a nut. Now, look at the sky. You tell me. Come on now. It's a bunch of kids. And there it is. This is Nebraska. Notice the smoky clouds in front of this. So how much time is going by? It's just stationary now.
Yeah, it was stationary for way too long.
Oh, it's still stationary. It hasn't moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, it's just staying right there. Photo op. There's your photo op, everybody. Get your pictures. Oh, we start to see some light.
Yes, we saw it on both sides.
Still stationary.
It is. It's unbelievable. They cannot even give us a good fake eclipse. Ah, okay.
Oh, there's the diamond.
Yes,
There's the diamond.
did you notice that it appears, disappears, and then reappears?
Now, what happened there? What happened there? The light went out, folks.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's back the truck up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, looks like the simulator failed there for a moment.
Oh,
Whoops.
somebody turned out the lights, folks. Hey, let's watch that again. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to stop this here. Hold on. We're gonna bust them. Oh, look, there's the flashlight, folks. You know what? I inadvertently stopped right there. That's it. There's your flashlight.
Yeah. Yes, I sometimes call the simulator the light bulb. Oh, look, the light bulb's up there.
Yeah, that's the light bulb. I actually didn't mean to stop right there, but I wanted to stop where.
Look at the hexagonal shape. We just saw it.
There it is. Okay. Fade to black. What just happened there, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
How could you have a passing object in front of a major light source, and then you see the light coming out of the corner, and now you're looking at a black screen? How's that possible? What happened?
That's impossible. You're supposed to at least see the corona. So this is not right. They just did a terrible job. I must say, it's just terrible.
Oh, there's a little peep there. I'm going backwards now. You see if I can do this right for everybody here. So we're going forward. Do we even see? Oh, you could kind of see what that is. You know what? I'm gonna pick this piece of the video apart.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, that's the simulator. You can start to see a bit of the hexagonal shape of it.
I'm talking about the big circle here, right here. I'm talking about
the big circle. Well, that's supposed to be the moon, but obviously, how can it be the moon if it's in front of a simulator? It has to be a simulator itself. The simulator has to be either in low Earth orbit or inside the Earth's atmosphere.
Ooh, there's a pretty good picture of it.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go through this piece of video footage. Now, this is a little disturbing because this doesn't make any sense. You start to see the light come through, and then you got fade to black.
Yeah.
And then
it reappears. It's impossible, Scott. It's impossible. This would mean the moon reverse direction.
Yeah, then you go, I mean, you could see a big bright light source here, and I'm going to go forward, and then it starts to disappear again.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's lower. You see how it jumps?
Yes.
That's, come on.
Wow.
Look, fade to black again. Come on now.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Now, look how dark it is.
Mm-hmm.
Look, she's yelling, oh, look, we faked them all out. Now, you want to know something that I find very, 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 very odd? And I'm going to give you another one of my analyzations here. Yeah, let's leave that right there. Okay. You see this woman? She works in, one of these, oh my God, the roof of her mouth is like beige. Oh my God, she's probably one of those Anunnaki or something. But anyways, this woman works in one of the Helio programs at NASA. And in the interview, the guy asks her, have you ever seen an eclipse before, being part of this program and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my, never, I've never seen one. This is going to be my first eclipse that I've ever seen, da, 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 da. But ladies and gentlemen, let's pick this apart. If this was the first eclipse and you're a NASA scientist, a Helio scientist, if you go back all the way, the eclipse is starting, okay? Why is she talking to this nerd guy reporter if this is the first eclipse that she's ever going to witness? She stays turned to the reporter guy from NASA and talks to him through the whole eclipse and doesn't look up to the end.
Yeah.
So if this was the first eclipse and you're a Helio scientist,
Mm-hmm.
worked all your life to get where you're at, do you think you'd be paying attention to some little dippy NASA reporter? What do they call those, interns?
Mm-hmm.
Because this dude was real young.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Scott.
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
is he more interested?
Yeah. And look, you could see how dark it is. Oh, look, it's dark there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, do you think that you think she's really a park ranger?
No.
Now look, this is the setup. This is the picture they're giving you right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of kids. Hey kids, come on, you want to get in this picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is, the reporter dude. Yeah, does he look like he's about what? I can't stop on his picture, man. I can't stop on it. It's getting on my nerves.
Mm.
Yeah, look at that look on her face. Yeah, this is a complete farce. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to pick this piece of video because this was a piece of the video to me that was the most damning evidence that I saw here in Nebraska. Now, I did see some other video that was very, very questionable as far as, what people saw. Yeah. You're a liar, woman.
Yeah, they get
Look,
paid to lie.
She's laughing at us all right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pick that piece of that video apart. I don't know. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. And this, did we go through this little piece here? Oh, this was the whole thing. Look at this guy. Look at this nerd job. Where did they find this chick at a truck stop or something? You know, let's I'm gonna stop this and let's speed through this a little bit. This is what they showed. This is from the aircraft, the G3.
Yeah.
301. Why is the time going backwards? That's a picture from the wings perspective of the Learjet, where the sunlight came through and cast onto the guy's arm from the right side. Yeah, well, I'll let this play. We could just check it out here real quick, but it's quite lengthy. I mean, this is over 30 minutes long. I mean, I live streamed all of this, but you know, you'd have to pick the video apart what they showed, and we'll just kind of move it forward. Here's the light. There's the diamond. There's the diamond.
Yes.
But look what happens. It goes black.
Oh my goodness! It's hexagonal. Oh.
There it is. There it is.
Oh yes.
Now, what I want to know is what exactly is going on with all of the rainbow light array.
Yeah, that's right. You would need a prism in order to get that sort of effect, because
I mean, maybe they were, you know, I mean, they could have been using some kind of, you know, weird lens or whatever.
it's possible, but how do you focus anything when the colors of white light are getting dispersed? They separating out, and yet you get white light, and then behind it you get refracted light, dispersed light, and it just doesn't make any sense.
You see how they cut the feed?
Yeah.
They cut the feed right here for some reason, and I don't know why they did that.
I think what they have there is various sources of light, and perhaps lenses or prisms to put the whole thing together. That's what it looks like to me.
I mean, you know, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, I mean, these the pieces of NASA footage that I have, I actually have it from beginning to end. If I have to spend the entire night, or I don't care if it's a couple of days, you know, everything that I watched today or yesterday and then rewatched it today, I have to tell you, I'm a firm non-believer that, you know, this event actually occurred. I'm sorry. I just, maybe it's just me, but I don't know. You know, I mean, getting more and more, you start picking this apart, and you see how they just manipulated the NASA TV footage. I mean, look at some of these pictures, man. Come on.
Yeah. Now, I think it's ridiculous, Scott. They have shown themselves not to be able to do any actual scientific, proper scientific studies, or provide proper scientific observational evidence for things. They have actually shown themselves to even be bad at faking things. I mean, Disney Studios would have probably have done a better job.
Well, you're right. They probably could have, most definitely. You know, I mean, if you just get little portions of this. Now, I'm sure maybe that this was the light array that you're seeing here. This is obviously, you know, probably the lensing cover that they had to film this fake event, and the interaction of artificial light. Okay, because I'm telling you right now that, I'm sorry, that just does not look like natural light. I mean,
No, it
it looks
doesn't.
like a major burst. And then what
Black.
happened? What happened? What
It
happened?
comes on and then it goes off.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Unbelievable.
yeah. They faded away because the pictures were getting too bad.
Mm.
And then here they started diverting your attention to the Soho C2 and C3, and they started showing you, look how normal. And that's today too, folks. Or that was the day of the eclipse.
Yeah, today there was actually a geomagnetic storm, G2.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what they were showing people, okay?
Just to cover up something that was just getting too bad.
Yeah. Now, hold on a second. Look at this little monster. You know, this little monster NASA reporter. I'm trying to get to a point where she's like, oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, we faking everything, man. What I wanted to show you was, okay, in this is it right here. Okay, they're supposed to be looking at the eclipse right now. You can notice that it's still daylight. The light source is naturally in front of them because you can see the way that the shadows are pointed out. Okay, but everybody is here to witness this eclipse, these crisis actors. Okay, now follow my cursor. Watch me very carefully. Okay, the dog doesn't even care what's going on. This lady right here is picking her nose. This guy over here is stuffing his fat face. This guy's back is turned. This guy's back is turned. This guy's back is turned. None of them are showing their faces. Now, this lady looks like she OD'd on heroin right now, but she's the only one looking up. And naturally, you know, Miss Fong Chung Sui over here from NASA, she's not even putting the glasses on her eyes. She works for NASA. She would know that the viewing of this eclipse like that and not protecting your eyes completely and looking straight up. And then look at this guy. He's got the camera around the neck, but is he looking up? No, he's looking at Mrs. Feng Shui Feng Dong over here. Is this girl? This girl's not looking. That guy's not looking. All of these people's backs are turned. Oh, but I drove 500 miles to see the eclipse, and all I'm interested in doing is picking my nose, eating some cake, and this guy over here wondering what's going on. When am I going to get my paycheck for being here today? I answered a Craigslist ad, and where's my money? Okay. Now, I noticed all this. Yeah. Let me get to that one point. Yeah. She's like, hell with it, whether they believe us or not. Yeah. And then we go to another location. Yeah. She's over here lying through her teeth, talking about this guy's mobile observatory. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the guy. Oh, this is the guy. I hate this guy. This is the guy that yells out, "Look, there's Venus." Yeah, okay, we're going to listen to this, people. Yeah, I'm just going to start it right here. Bear with me. Did I turn the volume down on here? Oh, my God. It's all the way up. What did I do to the volume? Or did I not record this? Oh, my God. That's right. I didn't record any audio on this. I have it on my video. Oh, yeah. This is the guy that's over here talking about the bacteria that they dropped up in space during this thing. Oh, look, there it is right there. Oh, it's not harm. There's no harm. Well, you know, I'm not really wanting to take your word for it, buddy boy, that you're dropping bacteria all through the atmosphere. Oh yeah, we're going to see how long it takes for it to die on its way back down, but it's a pretty hardy, robust bacteria. Well, alrighty then. Can't wait to see how many people, you know, end up getting sick and then spread that bacteria all over the place, whatever the hell it is that they dropped. So this doesn't make too much sense. Their whole video from Idaho Falls, this is when the guy yells out, "Look, I could see Venus. I could see Venus." And then in the background, you know, they're dubbing in that same audio of people cheering. Idaho Falls. Oh, you know what I wanted to point out too, real quick? Now, you tell me right now, why is it pitch black? Right there.
Oh my goodness. It looks like a studio.
You got it. Look at the studio. Look at the studio lighting on his shirt. Let's go back. Oh, damn it. Yeah, he's laughing. This is the guy that's in charge. He's talking about the bacteria and crap. Now, talking about dropping the weather balloons and, you know, dropping this stuff. Now, right here, I mean, come on. Damn. Oh, this slider on this video program is horrible. Now, I mean, again, it's completely pitch black back there. They have studio lights on. This was not videotaped in Idaho Falls out in the middle of this eclipse. I am sorry. This is the guy that seconds later turns and yells, "Look, there's Venus. I could see Venus. Oh, how beautiful." Madras, Oregon. All righty then. So anybody from Madras, Oregon, you tell me if it was pitch black outside. And I mean pitch black. And this is what they, no, oh, here it is. This is where the cameraman really got me right here. Let me get to it. Did I miss it? What I'm trying to get to are those people. What happened to them? Where did the people go?
Must be this somewhere.
There, I'm going to let it play and see if I could capture it, because there's a point I want to make right there. I'm going to have to wait. There was a point where they showed all of the people standing there, and bingo, right there. Come on, man. Are you serious? Yeah. Pitch black in Idaho Falls. Now, folks, this is where I saw the cameraman fade this video.
Mm.
He created
Yes.
this darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That's not natural darkness.
No, you're right. It's not.
Come on, man. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah, you can see that the people's faces and skin is still being illuminated. It's just the darkness is
the light was taken out. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. It was a camera effect.
Yes. And you see how quickly they moved away from that shot. You would have to, because people would start to notice that. Now, this was a very, very strange circumstance right here, is seeing these two rectangular light sources here and here. Now, the guy says in the commentary, look, you can see two prominences. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I went back to the timing on this video where he states that those two little light sources that you see right there and right there were prominences on the sun. Well, I verified to myself that during this period of time when this video was supposed to have been shot, there were no visible prominences at those two locations. None. Zero. No flares, no plasma loops, nothing. Nothing. And this is Idaho Falls, and this is where it supposedly went pitch black in this piece of NASA footage. So that was another little thing that I caught there that I thought that was, and then things start jumping around with the NASA camera. Come on, man. They put billion-dollar satellites into space, rockets, the whole 9 yards, and they can't keep a camera straight on an eclipse. I mean, this looks like this was videotaped by, some kid in his backyard just learning how to use a camera. Now, once again, you start to see these two real bright light sources right there on each side. And again, it's moving away from you because they just can't seem to keep it straight. But oh, there it goes upwards.
Wow.
Yeah, someone's going to back this up just a little bit, and we'll watch it, and you guys pick out what you think looks wrong. I mean, they moved it again. And it's supposedly in their real time. This is straight out of my video and straight out of NASA. Oh, there's the spotlight. There's the diamond. Now, I just saw it go completely rectangular. So how could the sun, we're going to go back to that because, once again, that was very, very critical right there. How could the sun show a perfect rectangle? And I saw it with my own eyes just now. I'm going to see if I could get to it. Happened real fast. Bingo. How could you have a rectangular form of light?
Yeah, it's not the real sun, Scott. There's no way this is the real sun. It's just Look how it changes shape like that. It's just ridiculous.
How could you have a perfectly straight line? How? Can somebody explain it to me? How is this line beautifully straight? I could put a ruler against that and this right angle. How could you have a right angle of light? I mean, can somebody please explain that to me? Maybe a carpenter, a bricklayer, you know, somebody with some freaking brains. That how could you possibly have a 90-degree angle like that in this lighting when we are looking at, you know, two spherical objects? There should be no right angles anywhere in this picture except the outer frame.
Yeah.
Busted and disgusted.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the next little quick frame here. I think I figured out how to do this now. Oh, now we're back to the big diamond. Now it's getting even bigger, which is natural. I'm going through this. Now it's shrinking. Oh, what is this? I knew I saw it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, let's get a
What is
screenshot.
that?
Everybody get a screenshot of that. I'm telling you right now, man, get a screenshot of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It keeps getting worse, Scott.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I said it was time to analyze this. I'm getting a screenshot of this bad boy. There you go. Huh?
Unbelievable.
That's it. What do you folks think? Hey, you people in the chat. Huh. Yeah. There's another 90-degree angle right here. Can anybody tell me how that's possible? Yeah. Let's go one more frame. Oh. Oh, wait. Now it's dark. It's still dark. I mean, it's playing. You're looking at that in the live time. It's not been slowed down or anything. Where did all the light source go that we just watched?
Yes. I think they were just hoping that no one would notice.
I don't get it. Aren't we supposed to be seeing light?
Yeah.
Look. Oh. Let's get to them now. Folks, they put this big picture in picture here for a reason. Okay. What the people aren't paying attention again. This guy's fiddling with something. This woman's telling him off. That guy's faced the other way. This one's faced the other way. You got one person doing something, looking up right there. This person's not paying attention, and this is all completely blocked out. So does that look like real dark lighting to you? Or does that look like somebody just turned down the actual light filter, added the darkness? That looks to me like somebody added the darkness. Yeah, I don't care about the eclipse. Look at this lady over here. Yeah, I just came along for the ride. They're paying me $100 to be here today. Pose in some pictures. Yeah, you got one person looking up right here. Oh, now he looks up. Now they're telling him, oh, here it is. Now, This is supposedly during the eclipse, and this is when the guy yells out and has an orgasm because I see Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, does this look like a stage set up to you?
Yes, it does.
Let's be realistic here, folks. Come on. I filmed commercials before, a part of my career, and right there is the lighting for this interview. You see where my arrow is? It's right there.
Sure.
So you're looking at studio lights. You're not looking at a total eclipse of the sun as filmed in Idaho Falls, Idaho by NASA officials. This is supposed to be during the eclipse. Oh, so you're telling me that, okay, it got dark, Scott, so they turned on some studio lights. No, if you go back and you watch how long this supposed interview took and how long it was black, it was like it was at night. And they videotaped this at night.
Oh my goodness.
That's why this is pre-recorded. This guy didn't see Venus. He's a liar.
Yeah. You can see the shadows there on the grass. You see how long those shadows are?
Yes, those are light. That's studio lights.
Yeah. Unbelievable. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll be picking this sucker apart, believe me. See what else we pick up here real quick. That guy's a liar.
Mm.
I don't like her hair. She looks very odd.
Mm.
Almost like, oh, now we got some daylight.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, folks, you know, there's a lot to pick through on this eclipse. Just, you know, absolutely no doubt about it. I don't know, Doctor. I mean, what do you think?
I agree with you, Scott. There's no doubt about it. And I must say, you're very good at picking out all these things. Maybe you should have become a private investigator or something.
You know, my days of investigating, it's been so long now. And, you know, I mean, there are people that listen to you, but when you're really drilling your heart out and you're trying to definitely show what's happening, it's the people that don't see it, you know, or you wish you could reach more and more people to show them that more and more events are being staged. You know,
I know.
Yeah, it gets a little frustrating, you know, dealing with that. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, that's just a small piece of evidence I've been working on, you know, over the course of the last 2 days. We've been, you know, pretty busy leading up to this. But this is what we captured. And I'm going to go through the whole entire NASA footage, pick it apart piece by piece. We'll do another live stream, but this time I'm going to go ahead and capture some screenshots, and we're going to analyze it a little bit more. I think that's the best thing that we can do right now. And, you know, we're going to make a list of the things that just don't make sense. If any of you feel that any of the footage that you took or you saw is fraudulent, you know, in any way, fake, a hoax, you captured something, drop me an email and we'll start putting this together. We may spend another 2 live streams on this, because I think there's a lot of critical information here proving beyond a shadow of a doubt, that, you know, they probably skewed a lot of this event from one end to the other.
I think they faked the whole thing.
Yeah. Thank you for saying it, because I was going to say it.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, you know, I really appreciate you being here with us tonight. We're going to go ahead and cut our live stream right now. And this will be re-uploaded as soon as it's done processing. If any of you want to go ahead and view it, take some screenshots from it, and hey, see what you can come up with, because I definitely think there's a lot in the footage that needs to be picked apart. And to prove, I don't think we saw an actual eclipse.
No, I don't think so.
Things just don't add up, even scientifically.
Mm.
But I'm sure they just thought people would be, oh, wow, look at that. But all we saw were crisis actors, staged people. Staged. Doctor, any last words?
Well, as usual, Scott, I would like to say that, of course, we are going through very strange and very difficult times, and it's likely to get worse. But there is a reason for all this. Nothing happens by chance, and that our Creator is involved, is still in charge. And we should get to know Him and get close to Him, because He's the only help we are really going to get in this world. And so I just would like to encourage people to get to know their Creator and develop a relationship with Him.
Once again, I totally agree. And, listen, folks, don't forget to share this live stream video with your friends and family members. Stretch it out to Twitter. Get it out there to Facebook. Take some still photographs. I don't care about credit and things of that nature. Get those still photographs. Examine them yourselves. Get them up on Facebook. Get them up on Twitter. Let people know your thoughts, what you saw, what you think is happening. That's the way we need to proceed through this. We can't crawl around on our hands and knees. We got to stand straight up. Get that backbone straightened out. And we need to start letting people really know what's going down. This is Scott from Planet X News with our rogue physicist, Dr. Claudia Albers. Thank you very, very much for being with us. And folks, look forward to another live stream like this, definitely tomorrow evening sometime. Take care.